Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Inshallah, you guys are all doing well. Ramadan Kareem. It's currently the 18th night of the holy month of Ramadan. Like we've been saying in this holy month, maximize the benefit as much as you possibly can. Get as close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as you possibly can. Not only for this holy month, you get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, get close throughout the entire month and for the months that are after the holy month of Ramadan. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر صدق الله العلي العظيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء وسيد المرسلين حبيب إله العالمين أبا قاسم محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
I begin in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, the one who created everything in utmost perfection. Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My brothers and sisters, a few days ago we spoke about how much they hated the Ahlul Bayt, how much they hated Imam Ali alayhi salam. Imam Ali, Amir al-Mu'mineen, had over 20,000 narrations, over 20,000 quotes, over 20,000 hadiths, my brothers and sisters. As much as Imam Ali did, it was never good enough. As we know, we said they hated him so much. To the point, my brothers and sisters, it got to the point where the name Ali was banned. This is to the point it became. For normal people, of course, aside from the Ahlul Bayt, because the Ahlul Bayt, if there was a rule like this, a rule this big, a rule this bad, a rule that does not make sense, they would not abide by it. They would die and not follow this rule. Of course, but the normal people, they would follow this rule. There was fitnas waged over the name Ali. This is how much they hated Imam Ali alayhi salam. This is how much they hated remembering the name of Ali alayhi salam. There's a story that states a man by the name of Khalid ibn Walid called Ali ibn al-Hussein alayhi salam to his palace. Now, according to the hadith, they just state Ali ibn al-Hussein. So, Imam al-Na'rif as Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam or Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam. But most sources state it's Ali al-Akbar alayhi salam. When Ali al-Akbar, according to most sources, they state it's Ali al-Akbar. When he gets called to the palace, he is asked, "What's your name?" He says, "My name is Ali." He said, Khalid ibn Walid, he says, "Is it Ali ibn al-Hussein?" He says, "Yes." He's like, you don't look like the other one that I've talked to before. Keep in mind, this man, Khalid ibn al-Walid, he's not a mu'min, he's not a follower of the Ahlul Bayt. He's a very, very bad man. Some state it was like a devil in a human form. This is how bad he was, my brothers and sisters. He said, you don't look like the one I've seen before, referring, of course, to Imam Zain al-Abidin. He said, "You don't look like him." He said, "Your name is Ali ibn al-Hussein, correct?" He said, "Yeah, that's my name." He said, "You might be thinking of my brother. You might be thinking of Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam." When Khalid ibn al-Walid heard this, he said, "What do you mean your brother? Your brother, his name is too, his name is Ali as well? What's wrong with your father? Why is he naming so much people Ali? What's wrong? Two siblings, two brothers, the same family, they're both named Ali? I hate this thing," he said. When Ali al-Akbar goes back, he sees Imam Hussein alayhi salam. He tells him what happened with Khalid ibn al-Walid. He tells him this happened, this happened, this happened, whatever. Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he said, if God, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ba'at li 1000 walad, عسميهن كلن Ali. If
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
He said, if God sent 1,000 children to me, I'm going to name them all Ali. All of them, I'm going to name them Ali. This is how much love Imam Hussein alayhi salam had for Imam Ali alayhi salam, his own father. He named two of his children Ali, my brothers and sisters. This is how much love he had for Imam Ali alayhi salam. This is how precious Amir al-Mu'mineen was to Imam Hussein. This just shows you what type of person Imam Hussein is and what type of person Imam Ali is. Imam Hussein is obviously a very respectful son, somebody who's very respectful to his father. He looks up to his father. He named one of his child Ali al-Akbar, he named another one Ali. This is how much he loved his father. And of course, if a son is going to name his children, both of them the same name, and it's the name of his father, that must mean his father is very respectful. He respects his father, he loves his father. This is how respectful Imam Ali alayhi salam was. Now, as we know, Amir al-Mu'mineen has a book by the name of Nahj al-Balagha. This book, my brothers and sisters, it's called the Path of Eloquence, the Peak of Eloquence. This book, my brothers and sisters, it's so beneficial. Of course, this book is, if you could say, it's a very, very high level read. It's very hard to understand. You gotta interpret it very well. So for those of you that want to read Nahj al-Balagha and find it very, very hard to read, of course, Nahj al-Balagha is a collection of Imam Ali alayhi salam's sermons, a collection of his letters, stuff like that. If you want to read this book, but it's too advanced to you, read the last chapter. The last chapter. The last chapter is just quotes of Imam Ali alayhi salam. And let me tell you, my brothers and sisters, these quotes, مثل الذهب. These sayings of Imam Ali alayhi salam, مثل الذهب. هود الحديث عن سنن Imam Ali alayhi salam, مثل الذهب. They're so short, they're very easy to remember. قصيرين كتير. But the meaning, معنى وراهن, it's huge. It could be interpreted in 1,000 different ways. The meaning of this can be interpreted in 1,000 different ways. Of course, this is for people that, let's say they want to read Nahj al-Balagha, but it's very hard to understand because, like I said, it's a very high read book. If you want to read it, you got to interpret it. I'm not going to compare it to the Quran because we know it's like the Quran if you want to say it. It's a very high level read. You got to interpret it. Each verse, each hadith can have very different meanings. It could be interpreted in very different ways. أفلح من صلى على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
وعجل فرجهم. In this last chapter of Nahj al-Balagha, Imam Ali alayhi salam mentions 5 things that will change your life forever. 5. We're going to start off by saying them and then we're going to interpret a few of them. The first one is you do not seek help except if it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The only person you seek help from is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The only person you have hope from is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Due to the fact that at any point somebody can backstab you, that at any point somebody can abandon you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never leave you, my brothers and sisters. And that is guaranteed. If you are putting the effort to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if like we've been saying the last few days, if you have that commitment to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to leave you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to abandon you. What did we say? The only person that helps you is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Of course, this does not mean, some people say, how about doctors? When I feel sick, I go to the doctor. When I feel sick, I go to the doctor. I go see if I'm good. Engineers, when I need my car fixed, I go. This, even if they do help you, if they help you, how are they helping you? Isn't min Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. عم بيساعدوك من إذن من Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let's say the doctor, he has to test you. He has the thingy that measures the heartbeat, that sees the rate of the heartbeat. He puts it on you. He has to use what? He has to move his hand. This hand that he's moving, how is he moving it? Who is he getting this permission from? Is he moving it freely? Or does he have to get isn't from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Does he have to get permission from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He has to get permission from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the only person that's going to allow him to move left. That's the only person that's going to allow him to move right. The second one is never fear anything or anyone other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Never fear anyone or anything other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what does this mean? Never fear anyone or anything other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we're equal. In in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we're equal. We've been saying this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala equalized you. If you're Asian, if you're black, if you're all equal in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It does not matter. This is why you should not fear anybody unless you're fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the only person you should be fearing. With how great, with how amazing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, He's the only person you should be fearing. If your dad is mean to you, if your dad is yelling at you, you shouldn't fear him. You shouldn't fear. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created you both. You both have the same creator. And you both were born, you both were made equal. بعدين as البي بده يعمل منيح, he's going to be high in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You guys are not going to be equal at that point anymore. So it just depends. If the dad wants to be good, he's going to be higher in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If the son wants to do bad, he's going to be low. But never fear anybody. The only person you fear is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because that's the only person that can really hurt you. That's the only person that, not even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to hurt you. The consequences of your actions are going to hurt you. And like we've been saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you free will. What you choose to do with that, that is your decision. If you decide to do good with it, go do good. If you decide to do bad, go do bad. At the end of the day, your consequences are going to be based on your actions. This is the second one, my brothers and sisters. أفلح من صلى على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
The third one is if you don't know something, إذا منك عارف على الشغلة منك عارف الأnswer, you don't know the answer to this question, ما تكون مستحيل تقول ما بعرف هذا الشغلة. If you don't know something, let's say أنت دكتور وحدا بيقول لك تعال ظبط لي هذا السيارة. You're a doctor and the guy is telling you come fix my car. شو بيعرفني بهذا الشغلة? You don't know this thing. Of course, if you want to, إذا بدك تجرب تظبطها, إذا بدك تجرب ساعدها, okay ساعدها. But don't say yes I know how to do it. Because once you say إيه بعرف وبالآخر ما بتظبط, هيطلع فيك إنه he just told me he knows it and he doesn't know it. He's gonna lose hope. He's gonna be sad. So don't say you know how to do something and then it turns out you don't know how to do it. The fourth one is very close to this. If you don't know how to do something, if you do not know how to do something, إذا منك عارف كيف تعمل شغلة, تسأل. جرب تعلم هذه الشغلة. If you don't know how to do something, go out and look for information. Go out and learn how to do this thingy. And whatever it may be. This is what we've been saying in this holy month. Learn your religion. Learn Islam. اتعلموا دينكم. There's a lot of people that don't know their deen. During this month, they should be going out and doing whatever they can to learn their deen, whatever it may be. Not only your deen, because like we said, deen in this dunya is very, very important, but it's not 100%. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never asked us 100% ibadah. But this is a key part of the dunya and a very, very key part of the akhirah. So if you do not know something, go out and learn it. The fifth and final thing that Imam Ali alayhi salam says is be patient. Be patient. If you want to become successful in life, be patient. Patience is the key, they say. خلينا نفترض حدا بيقول لك شغلة ما تعصب دغري. Do not get mad fast. Patience is key. If somebody tries getting in your head by saying something to you, don't let him get in your head. Show them that this is my religion. I know when to get mad. I know when to not get mad. If it's something this small, you're just trying to annoy me. And especially when something is not true, that's when it mostly gets in the head of somebody. When something is not true and somebody comes and tells them, oh, you did this thing, what do? They start giving in to what the person wants. The person wants you to get mad. The person wants you to give them attention. Do not give them attention. Do not give them the attention. Because once you give them the attention, what's going to happen? They're going to keep redoing this thingy. They're going to see how easy it is to get into your head and how satisfied they become. How satisfied they become when you begin to do what they want because you've gotten into their head. They're going to redo the same thing every single day, my brothers and sisters. Of course, as we know, today is the 18th of the holy month of Ramadan. Soon is going to be Laylatul Qadr. Soon, usually we used to go to the Maraqis, we used to pray, we used to do a lot of stuff. It used to be amazing. But this year, like we know, the Maraqis are closed. The Maraqis are not open. We can't go to the Maraqis. We can't read Quran. We can't pray in the Maraqis. شو بدنا نعمل? My brothers and sisters, just مثل عم بتعمل بالمراكز فيك تعملها بالبيت. بدك تصلي بالمراكز فيك تصلي بالبيت. بدك تقرا قرآن بالمراكز فيك تقرا هون. You can do just as you're gonna do in the mosques, you can do them at home. Of course, people might think the mosques are funner, which I agree. I believe the mosques are funner. It's more quiet, it's more dark. You feel closer with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on a spiritual level. You feel way closer to him. It feels way better. But just as you do at home, you can do at the mosque. Just as you do at the mosque, you can do at home. The most important thing on Laylatul Qadr is what? To admit to your sins, to repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive you. This is one of the most important things. During this month, it's very special, but these 3 days, 3 أيام من ليلة القدر, are the most special of this month. ليلة القدر خير من ألف شهر. The actions you commit in this holy month are like 1,000 months. Are like 1,000 months. How much is 1,000 months? 1,000 months, if you want to say, over 50 years. من ألف شهر. Thousands of months. 1,000 months minimum. These actions that you're doing from الساعة 11 لصلاة الفجر, الساعة 10 لصلاة الفجر, these 6 hours, these 7 hours can make your destiny. What does qadr mean in English? Qadr in English means destiny. These 6 hours can make your destiny. If you want to play around and you want to go on your phone and you want to go to sleep, that's up to you, like we've been saying. انت هتتحاسب على أعمالك مش أعمال غيرك. You're going to get punished, you're going to get rewarded based on your deeds, not on the deeds of other people. So whatever you choose to do on that night. If your brother عم بيلعب على تلفونه, انت تضلك عم تقرا قرآن. جرب تقول له انه اقرا قرآن معي. إذا ما بده يقرا, it's up to him. هو حر. Do as you please. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you free will. Do as you please. If you want to do good, do good. If you don't do good. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to let other people's actions around me affect my actions. That's the most important thing. Do not get dragged down with people. Because once you get dragged down with people, it's very hard to get up because you're dependent on them. You're dependent on them. And once you're dependent on them, if they do not go up, you're not going to go up. You're not going to go up. And like we said, my brothers and sisters, even though this year, Laylatul Qadr is not going to be at the Maracas, still do your best. When you hear the du'as coming on and you want to go to sleep, a lot of people, they go to sleep during the du'as. If you're one of those people that goes to sleep, the word Qadr means destiny. Laylatul Qadr, the night of your destiny. So when you're hearing this dua, ul badru an nawm, just think, this word Qadr means your destiny. What's better? You going to sleep or you deciding your destiny? Keep in mind, you can decide your destiny in these 6 hours of just praying, of just reading, of this 11:30 to Salat al-Fajr. You can decide your destiny. You can get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's very easy, my brothers and sisters. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it so easy for us to get close to Him during this holy month, and people miss these opportunities every year. People decide to forget it. What do they say? هلا السنة الجاية بعملها. هلا السنة الجاية. So many people say this. People, oh, I don't want to go to the mosque this year. I'm going to go to the mosque next year. How do you know you're going to be here next year? شو عرفك إنه السنة الجاية أنت هتكون عايش? How do you know that next year you're going to be able to go to the mosque for Laylatul Qadr? You're going to be able to do Laylatul Qadr in your house? Nobody knows. They always say, pray every prayer like it's your last. Everything you do it as it's your last time you're going to do it. Do it when it's the last time of you doing something. Well, how do you do it? The best way it can possibly be performed. The best way it can possibly be performed. So every time you're praying, do it as if it's your last prayer. Every time you're reading Quran, do it as if it's your last time reading Quran. Every time you're reading dua, do it as if it's your last time reading dua. Because once بتحط هيدي براسك إنه يمكن هيدي آخر مرة بعمل هيدي الشغلة, بتبلش تعملها the best way possible. My brothers and sisters, in this holy month, get as close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as you possibly can. Do not let this month pass by and you feel like you haven't got closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like we said, in this holy month, better yourself. In this holy month, better yourself. Get as close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as you possibly can. Even if that means abandoning your friends, your family. If your family wants to play, let them play. But just know that at the end of the day, your family's playing. I'm going to do what's good for myself. Even religion is more important than family. If you got to abandon your family to keep your religion safe, that is what you got to do. Because what's more important, the akhirah or the dunya? The akhirah. Without a question, the akhirah is more important. It's way more important. Your family is not more important than your religion. Of course, your family, you love them, they're closer to you. But if it comes down to the choice where it's either you gotta choose your family or your religion without a heartbeat, you choose Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You choose your religion. You don't think about it twice. Because once you think about it twice, that means you're not close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or that means you have so much love for your family, which of course that's amazing. But you have to have more love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is your creator. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that gives you good health. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that gives you everything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you your parents. Anything you're doing today, you're doing it with isn't from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're talking, you're breathing, you're moving your hand. All Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you're sick and you go to the doctor, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that's healing you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that's keeping you safe. When you feel something bad, who do you turn to? وقت انت خايف لمين بتروح? You go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you start praying. Everywhere you go, you see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everywhere. Right there, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everywhere you go, you see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even when you're scared, like we said, the person you turn to is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why is that? Because you know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to keep you safe. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to abandon you. This is why Imam Ali alayhi salam said, don't put hope into things that can leave without a heartbeat. Don't love people when they can leave in a heartbeat. Put hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Give your love to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is never going to leave you. Of course, unless you leave Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, unless you forget about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you're praying every day, if you're reading Quran, if you're reading dua, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to leave you. But if you, on the other hand, عم بتقطش على الصلاة, ما عم تقرأ Quran, ما عم تقرأ dua, if you forget about Islam completely, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to forget about you. And keep in mind, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can live without you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fi يعيش بلاك. If you forget about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He can live without you. Us, if you want to say we can live without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if somebody is that ignorant to say they can live without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they can say that. But when they need somebody to turn to, and they turn to somebody and they forget about them, when they abandon them, who are they going to turn to? They're going to turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they got to start the race again. They got to start it late this time. Of course, like we said, it does not matter when you start it. If you put in the time, if you have the commitment, you'll get very close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just don't make the mistake of abandoning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My brothers and sisters, like we said, maximize the benefit of this holy month. It's currently day 18 of this holy month. Yesterday was day 1, if you want to call it. It feels like time is flying, especially this year. I don't know, time is just flying during this year. So make sure during this holy month you're getting close to Him. Not only for this month, like we've been saying. If you're just going to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during this month and forget about Him the next month, it's not worth it. Build this everlasting relationship. When you need something, you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you feel scared, you turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anything that you desire, anything that goes into your mind, of course, if it's something reasonable, not something that's going to affect your deen, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. آخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. My brothers and sisters, stay as close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as you possibly can in this month. Let's say you're fasting today, fast today as if it's your last day fasting. When you're praying Salat al-Maghrib wal-Isha, pray as if it's your last time. آخر مرة بدك تسوي صلاة المغرب والعشاء. The performance, the way you perform it will be way better than it is in the other times. نقرأ آية الكريمة 10 مرات. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء. أمن يجيب
المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء.
أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء. أمن يجيب
المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء.
أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء. أمن يجيب
المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء.
أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء. أمن يجيب
المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء.
أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء. Ya Allah, 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 Ya Allah. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يبعد عنا هذا البلاء يبعد عنا هذا البلاء. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to cure us of this virus. My brothers and sisters, this could quite possibly be a test, and just like every other test in your life, بدك تنجح من هذه الامتحان. You want to pass this test, you don't want to fail this test. And this test, like we know, it's more important than any other test in your life. دعاء الحجة. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وعجل فرجه. My brothers and sisters, make sure in this month you're using your time wisely. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of your siyam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of your fasts. Some people today, they're fasting, like we know, from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. They're doing one act that could possibly invalidate your siyam. Do not be fasting 12 hours just to commit one act that invalidates your siyam. Because once you're doing that, most people commit this act and they don't know about it. Most people commit this act and they don't know about it. They don't know that possibly they have days to redo. Just make sure the acts you're committing are not acts that invalidate your sin. آخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. رحمنا الله من قرأ سورة الفاتحة مسبوقة بالصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.